So I know this guy, and he works basically less than anyone else I've ever met. And he's not like a genius, and no offense to him if he ever watches this, but he makes more money than almost anyone I know. And people who I've also met who work, twice as hard and for twice as long, and may even be smarter than him, just don't earn as much money. And I used to kind of, accept this sort of thing and be like, oh, whatever, that's kind of how business works. Okay, so first example, I'll go back to this guy I was talking about before. I'm not going to name him, obviously, who genuinely works maybe 4 hours a day, like actual work for 4 hours. And I know people who are up 6 a.m, 5 a.m, 4 a.m, working really hard, way more intelligent, way more hardworking. The main kind of distinctive thing between, these two characters that I'm talking about is the guy that makes more money does not work an hourly wage at all. He's completely self-employed. He doesn't, earn any money per hour. No wage. He's completely self-employed. He does own a business, and that's probably the key thing, but I'll explain that more in a minute. And yeah, financially, for ages, I was like, oh yeah, whatever. That's just how it goes. But at some point, you've got to stop and go, hang on, why is this happening? Why can't it be me? This is insane. This is crazy. And once you say it out loud, you're like, oh, what? So what is it? So if it's not hard work, and it's not being smart or more intelligent, whatever you want to class it as, you know how some people are just really good at studying, they're really good at exams, but it's not either of these two. That's just for making money. This is what we're talking about. We're not talking about getting better grades, academic achievements, because obviously a more intelligent person will just be better. There's a few factors to this, and it's very difficult to outline, because essentially what we're talking about is character, and the character leads to making better decisions. And that's so hard to quantify, and it's so hard to just, here's 3 things, do these and you'll be great. It just doesn't work like that, which is really annoying. So making money has nothing to do with time or effort. It's about maximizing the opportunities that you have. So there's 2 parts to this. With opportunities, people will say, oh, they have to be found. Some other people will say you can make them. And obviously you can't physically create an opportunity, but what you can do is position yourself in a way that you'll be exposed to more opportunities. And this is why so many people say it's really important with who you surround yourself with. Because, if I just stuck with my primary school friends, tight friend group for my entire life, my life and their lives are going to look relatively similar. There's going to be no outliers because that's all we've known. Whereas if you're a type of person to socialize a lot, meet lots of new people, you're going to end up being like a better all-rounded person and potentially be exposed to more opportunities. And you've made them, or you found them by making the connections with other people. And time, not in a hard work, working for lots of hours sense, but in a, if you can make this work, then over time, the probability of opportunities increases. So essentially you just get more chances through time. And that's just how time works, unfortunately. There's not a lot you can do to hack it. I'm sure many people have tried. but until time travel exists, there's not a lot you can do about it. And in these opportunities, it is as simple as you provide value to other people, and the value you provide is monetizable. That's literally it. So you have your opportunity, and an example, I know this sounds kind of confusing and kind of vague, but an example of this could be anything. Let's have a think. It could be providing a product. It could be providing a service. In said services, it could be maybe you're really skilled and you're really knowledgeable on a process and a software, and there's just like one tiny little moment where a business needs that, and they don't employ anyone who knows how to do that, and they don't know anyone except they know you. All of a sudden, you can provide crazy value to them just from being in the right place in the right time, which is opportunities. So it's not because you're more intelligent, it's not because you worked harder, it's just because you found yourself in the right place and you made the right decision. It's all about decision making. So it's not even like there's a shortage of supply. In saying this hypothetical scenario where it's you're really good at this software, and it's not that no one else is, lots of other people were, but you were there first and you were there with the company to help them. Because time in business is everything. So they could have gone out and hired someone. That could have taken a few months and then trained them. Or you were right there, you take the money, and it's a lot of money because the convenience and value it provides to them. Now, that's kind of what I've seen with, how people make big, large amounts of money in kind of this strange out of a career way, this weird self-employment, people are providing skills and value and they're not an employee. It's very strange and it's difficult to wrap your head around. How do you kind of turn this into a career and a stable income rather than like, here's a job, I've done it, I've earned some money? Well, this is where the other thing I found that's come in is everything these days, depending on where you are in the world, it's a big case for in the UK, is built on reputation, which sucks because reputation is something you got to build. You can't have it overnight. You can't work hard to get it. You just got to wait a while. And yes, you got to work hard over that period, but you just got to wait until people know you. And you can also see this as a brand. And a brand, these are kind of interchangeable in certain contexts where a brand, people will shop from a certain brand. Let's think of Amazon. There's lots of... So Amazon is logistics. People get this confused. It's not a shop. It's like eBay, where there's not eBay products, but people sell their products on eBay. It's kind of like that. And you could use UPS. You could use DHL. And then there's lots of other third-party kind of logistics. We'll just put 3PL there. But people come back to Amazon, always come back to Amazon, because they've got a reputation for fast shipping. They've got a reputation for ease and convenience. You can go online, shop around, read a bunch of information, find the best product and buy it, and it'll be there really quickly. And that overall package as a brand is why people really like them. And because of this, a brand, once it's built its reputation, can then mark up. It can charge more money because it has the reputation to lean on to charge more money. And people don't mind paying that because they think they're going to get something good. And it's not promised, it's more guaranteed than it would be in a complete stranger. And once you get to this kind of brand markup phase, then you start looking at selling on emotions. And obviously 99% of selling is on emotions, but where you can mark up and people still buy it, you're really, you're leaning on the emotions highly. And this is like, let's think of an example. Let's think of Louis Vuitton. That's a great example. Designer brand. Their markup is probably over 100 times. Let's think of an example. Handbags, that's a good one. Thousands and thousands of pounds people spend on handbags. God knows why. Just because of the LV badge and the logo and the design, right? And it's telling other people, hey, look, I've got money. I've got an LV bag. I'm the business, right? God knows why. People want that. But it'll cost them peanuts to make, probably not more than £50. And then they can charge thousands. Insert your currency here. It's ridiculous. And that's just because of branding, and that's selling on emotions. That's how we get from monetizing your work to disproportional income through branding and reputation. Doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm trying to kind of suss it out and understand it myself because I haven't experienced, owning a business with a big brand and leveraging and monetizing, marking up through selling through emotions. I haven't experienced this firsthand. Obviously, I've seen it. Lots of people have seen it. I hope to experience it one day firsthand. But that's kind of how the jump works. From my understanding, feel free to leave a comment. From my understanding, from right place, right time with an opportunity, providing value over to branding and reputation to leverage markup. That's kind of just how it works. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment. Thanks for watching and subscribe.